Welcome! Let me catch you up. I'm Shannon Makes, corgi mom and starry-eyed old house enthusiast, and last summer when this footage was shot, I had just purchased a 120-year-old fixer-upper in Nova Scotia, and I was roughly 2 weeks into the process of trying to save it and restore it to its original glory. Up until this point, I had been joined by my partner in crime and renovation, Phil, but he had just left to go back to Montreal briefly, and I stayed behind to continue work, namely trying to clean out one room enough to call it a bedroom and to have somewhere clean to crash after long, dirty days at work. Life at the house is chaotic and spontaneous. Every day looks a little bit different, and I never know what challenges I'm going to face, so it's lovely to have a morning routine that is both consistent and relaxing. This feels like a great time to talk about something that I've been meaning to dig into for a long time, and that is the second place market around here. This topic was prompted by a few lovely comments from you guys talking about how I always seem to have these amazing secondhand finds, and then this one somewhat aggravating discussion I had in the comments where somebody insisted that just because they could easily find multiple cast iron radiators on Craigslist for $50, that I should have no problem doing the same, and then boom, $1,000 later, my heating problem would be solved. As if it was gonna be that easy. Without dissecting the various issues inherent in that statement, let's talk in more general terms about the secondhand market, because here's the thing. You all on the other side of the screen, you only see when I make a really cool find, but what you don't see is all of the time that I spend scrolling and refreshing Facebook Marketplace over and over, literally hundreds of times throughout the day. You don't see the moments where I find nothing, or where I do find something, but I'm not the first person to get it, because let me tell you, the secondhand market here is so small. There are very slim pickings, and whenever something good does come up, it's usually snapped up right away. So it's super hard to find something good and be the first person to claim it. A fact that might help give some perspective to the situation is that, as many of you know, I'm coming from Montreal. I'm now in Nova Scotia, and the entire province of Nova Scotia has half the population of the city of Montreal. So as you can imagine, there is a significant difference there, and that difference does definitely play out in the availability of things on the secondhand market here. So yes, I do sometimes find some really amazing things, and those things will always make it into my videos because I'm super excited about it, and it's really fun for me to share it with you. It's such an essential facet of my personality, but do definitely keep in mind that I am also scrolling endlessly. I'm constantly refreshing my marketplace and my Kijiji, and probably 9 times out of 10, at least, I'm finding absolutely nothing. Or I'm finding something cool and I'm just not the first person to make a purchase offer. Today, however, was a lucky day. Originally, the plan for this morning, right this very minute, was actually going to be digging through my house and trying to find interesting things to put in the bedroom, interesting and useful. However, in my ritual morning browse of Marketplace, I found this dresser on sale about 15 minutes away for $30. It's all wood, and it looks like it's in a bit rough shape, meaning I'm not gonna feel bad if I paint it. So I just called the number, and this lovely woman answered. She was adorable, very nice. She told me to come down and take a look at it, and she sounded like she was very willing to drop the price even more depending on how I felt about it. So quick change of plans, gonna hop in the car, pop over there, look at this dresser, and potentially bring it back, because even if I don't use it for the bedroom, I can use it elsewhere in the house, and things are very rare to pop up on Marketplace, and especially at this price. So I am gonna hop in the car and go take a look. Cross your fingers, hopefully next time you'll see me, I'll have a dresser in hand. So obviously I did pick up the dresser. I got it for $20, which is a fantastic price, especially considering it is all
real wood with the small exception of the very bottoms of the drawers and the very back, both of which are masonite, but they're in really good shape. So the only thing that really needs to be done on here is to wax the drawers, and also it is smelling a bit musty, which just means it's gonna fit in super well at my house. So I did stop on the way back, picked up some baking soda, and we're gonna see if leaving it out all day in the hot sun with a healthy dose of baking soda is gonna help cure that situation. So that's next up on the agenda, and then I thought we could go take a look at the dresser that currently already is in my house, see what state that is in, and maybe actually give it the same treatment, just knowing the state of affairs in my house. Seriously? Thwarted by the brand name baking soda and had to open it up. What the heck?
Ah! That's right, folks. She can fly through the air with the greatest of ease, but she can't open a box of baking soda.
This shouldn't be this hard. Oh, wow. Oops. Well.
I'm gonna interrupt this thrifted dresser saga for a quick crafting update because here's the situation. I'm gonna be going on a short summer contract in Scandinavia soon, and I will, of course, be bringing some crafts with me to work on. Specifically something hand sewing that doesn't require a machine because I don't think I'll have access to one. And in that vein, I got so many recommendations, mainly on my Vlogmas videos where I was traveling and touring the US, from people saying that I should try English paper piecing, and specifically because it is super portable. So I thought that I would take these lovely fabrics that I got from Miss Quilty a few weeks ago. They're stunning. They're some of my favorite colorways and they're super good quality. So I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna combine them with some of your community patchwork scraps that everybody mailed into me in the beginning of the year to make what I envision as a lovely, vibrant, summery patchwork creation, maybe for the fainting couch in my basement, maybe actually for something else. I kind of have a second idea brewing in my head, but I also kind of need to see how the paper piecing turns out before I decide how I'm going to use it. So stay tuned for that. It will probably be its own dedicated video at some point, but in the meantime, I did actually want to make up one of the patterns that I found in their booklet because I spied a pattern for a patchwork cosmetic bag. And here's the thing, when I travel, and y'all, if you do this too, you gotta let me know. When I travel, I use as many of these as I can get my hands on. These are those like little zippered travel compartments. They often have a little mesh section. I live by these things. I swear by these things. I don't even have to be traveling. Like, this is just where all of my audio equipment lives on a daily basis. I love these things for compartmentalizing and keeping things neat. So when I saw that they had a very similar looking bag in here and it was patchwork, I was like, you know what? I've never made one of these for myself. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna make up one of these bags following their instructions for the cosmetic bag. The thing is, I don't wanna use this fabric because I already have started to pick out some matching colors from y'all's submissions for the fabric scraps. Fortunately, I have once again
teamed up with Miss Quilty, and they have sent me another subscription box. Guys, let me just tell you, first of all, it is so much fun to get fabric in the mail. I mean, between Miss Quilty and then all of y'all's patchwork submissions, which I have slowly been working my way through and savoring each and every one. So if you want a little bit of that magic, highly recommend a monthly subscription box that just sends amazing fabric to your door every day. So I thought, let's open this box together. I have not opened it yet. I have been holding out, waiting for this moment. So that's how much I care about y'all, that I have not peeked into this yet. So let's open it together and pick out some fabric to make this bag. My attention is immediately caught by these stunning fabrics. So the theme is blue and white with a little bit of golds mixed in. Absolutely stunning. And again, superior quality fabric, just feels so nice to the touch. Cannot wait to open these up and look at them, spread them all out. As usual, we've got 2 of these packets here. And then we've got some extras: polyfill stuffing, strap webbing, quilt fixing clips. Okay, now let's spread out these fabrics and get a closer look at them. Oh, super, super fun. What a fantastic selection of fabrics. I can definitely see that there are a few that jump out at me that I think would mix really well together for this cosmetic bag. Ooh, do I want to go with all florals, or do I want to throw in some geometrics as well? That is the question. Okay, I finally chosen which fabrics I want to use, so now let's start making this bag. If you love the look of this project and the idea of having high quality fabrics and exclusive patterns delivered to you on a monthly basis sounds delightful, then consider signing up for Miss Quilty's subscription boxes. The fabrics are bright and cheerful, and their magazine keeps you inspired with unique and fun projects just like this one. Well, if this isn't the cutest little patchwork, look at it. Turned out super well. I even messed up the order of the squares on one of these rows, and it doesn't matter. You can't even tell. The instructions, super easy to follow so far, really clearly color coordinated and everything. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it into a bag by adding the zipper and the lining. And there it is, ta-da! Looking very nice and sharp. It is just stuffed with a couple shirts right now because I wanted to give you guys an idea of the shape, because originally I had left it quite flat just as a normal pouch, and then I decided I wanted to give it a little more dimensionality, so I opted for the boxed corners, which is in the sort of additional optional instructions section at the end, and I'm really glad that I did because it kind of gives it a little bit more shape that I was looking for. So let's take this and now see if all of my traveling sewing supplies are gonna fit inside it. So if you would like to unleash your creativity and have fun sewing, be sure to give Miss Quilty a try. You can follow the link in the video description and use my code to get 30% off. It's a great way to support the channel and explore your creativity. And who knows, maybe we can end up with matching bags. Okay, so back in the house, and the dresser I'm thinking about using for the bedroom is right there in the corner. So I'm not actually sure what state it's in because I haven't had time to investigate it, but let's go take a look. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. All right, table legs, a old photo album. Oh, I wonder if this house is featured in this photo album. That's definitely not this house. So, fun photo album, some kind of creepy dolls, kind of knick-knacky vase. Another cherub lamp. But I think the drawers themselves, if I remember, are actually empty. Oh, no. They're not empty. Designs for how to make a sundial? Ugh, gross. Okay, well, it clearly needs to be cleaned out, if nothing else. So I think I'm going to load this out of here, take it outside, vacuum it out, scrub it down, probably give it the same treatment with some baking soda, and come back to it at the end of the day, see how it smells. Also, we will definitely be back in this room because it is full of tons of other interesting things I'm pretty sure we can put in the room. Plus, there's gonna have to be a whole separate video on sorting through all of the various random and weird antiques that are in this room, let alone in the attic. There's so much stuff in this house, guys.
A quick little PSA for those of you who have found my channel more recently. First of all, hello, welcome. I hope you are enjoying all of the videos, but I do get a lot of questions about the house that I've already answered in previous episodes. And as you can imagine, I already spend a ton of time answering comments. So if you just started watching and you haven't checked out the previous videos I've made, I do definitely recommend doing that. They're entertaining. You're going to get a lot more background about the house, what we've already done here. There's a ton more corgi content, and they'll probably have a lot of your answers in them. Really quick, I wanted to thank everybody who recommended this book to me. It's by the same author as the Alice Network, and I came across it a few days ago at the thrift store. Of course, I bought it, and let me tell you, you guys delivered. It was thrilling, such a good read. More strong and well-developed female characters, more wartime espionage, this time in World War II. I finished it in a couple days. I stayed up hours and hours past my bedtime because I couldn't put it down, something I have not done since I was a teenager. So if you enjoyed the Alice Network, or if it sounded good to you, do consider putting this one on your list as well. And I've also heard good things about The Huntress, another book by her, so you can bet that if I can get my hands on that one, I will.
I also just noticed there's this mirror hiding back here, which is really dirty, but also really pretty. And I'm wondering if it went with this dresser. This dresser, you can see it's got some holes here, which I'm wondering if maybe they were for a mounting system for that mirror. That is really common around here. I've seen a lot of dressers on Marketplace that have this sort of setup. It's like the dresser with the vanity and the mirror, and it's all kind of a unit. I can't quite tell if these two actually go together. The wood on the mirror is in much better shape than the wood on the dresser. Doesn't necessarily mean they go together just because they're right next to each other, but it is a distinct possibility. And even if they don't actually go together, I might still take that mirror and hang it up on the wall because it's really pretty. It just looks like it needs a really solid, deep clean, like everything else in this place.
It was admittedly a bit weird to be sorting through these leftovers from someone else's life, but it was kind of fun to try and salvage some of the more interesting and potentially useful things from this dresser, from that one solitary plug-in bulb to paint swatches and tiny children's books. Ugh. Well,
Well, friends, we are, as you can see, back in Montreal ever so briefly, where I have managed to dig up my old computer, which is only of note because it has a disk drive in it. Now, if you've been following along on this whole house journey, you'll know that I've been gathering a fair amount of evidence to suggest that I probably saved my house from being torn down and demolished for modern construction. We met the local developer who flat out told us he put a bid on our house, and we also know that he built that sad beige box next door to us. Tim's house. What we don't know is if he tore down another equally gorgeous, equally historic house in order to do so. We tried looking at Google Maps and Google Earth, but the absolute jungle of trees and leaves made it pretty impossible to see what that house looked like. But we do know that the current house was built somewhere between 2009 and 2012. And what do I have here but a disk full of images from 2005? Now, Ronnie is our cheerful and generous neighbor who lived on the other side of the house in question for 20 years now, and when he found out about our quest for information, he dug up this CD because he thought there might be some images on it where we could see that house in the background of these photos. So I figure, let's plug this puppy in, let's let it charge up because it's been several years since I've used it. Now let's grab Phil and see what we can find on this disk. Can I confirm once and for all that I saved my house from certain destruction? Knowing modern developers, that seems like kind of a given though. Shall we? Mm-hmm. Let's take a look. March of 2005. Let's see what we're dealing with. Let's go back in time. I mean, just that sound brought me back in time.
Gonna be photo inside his house too. That's funny.
Yeah, we're really gonna get like a full tour inside his house. But hopefully there's like a couple that have the exterior. If not, I don't know what this video segment's gonna be. It's gonna be nothing. Oh, look at that interior. That's fun.
Dated.
I kind of love this border on top though. It's very fun.
That oven is everything.
Literally, that oven is amazing.
These choices were made.
Oh, that's fun.
Nice wallpaper. Color scheme.
Show me the outside.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, boarded up and all.
But it was pretty.
It was pretty.
It was so cute. So wood siding, two-toned.
Trim, white trim.
In need of love. Oh, there we go. Oh, Ronnie.
It was younger.
Look at Ronnie. Oh, wow.
Oh, it was big, the back. It was like a big L shape.
Yeah. Oh, that architecture is so pretty. But you know what? When we saw the bird's eye view on Google Earth, the roof looked like it was like almost an X. Mm-hmm. So I think it's like
in middle, yeah.
You can see there's still like the nice wood trim on top of the windows, even though the windows themselves are boarded up. Mm-hmm. Do you think the fireplace was working, given the way the snow is melted on top here?
Either that or the bay was open and all the heat from the house would also escape in the attic, like in our house.
But then wouldn't it have kind of more of the roof? It's just like that circular pattern, really. Yeah. It looks like it's like emanating from the chimney.
Probably working.
Ah, jealous.
Ronnie being a boss.
Ronnie being a total boss. Oh my god, look at that. Is that it? That's it. All right, so the best look of the house is definitely the best shot of Ronnie also. This one, you can really see some of the fun architecture. So between, if you would take this picture and then you would put it next to the image from Google Earth, where you can see the roof, we can kind of infer what it looked like. So it was another gorgeous Victorian era house that somebody could have saved. Well, thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ronnie.
For putting the question to rest. Now we do know that it was a stunning, potentially stunning Victorian house. Fun. All right.
Nice.
Now we know. Wow, that was a journey. So just think, there could be another small, sad, gray beige box in the place of where our house is standing. Put that image next to what it is currently, and it's so sad. Oh, battery exhausted. Well, I guess that's our sign.
All right.
The segment's over. Now we know. So overexposed. So we've gone over how small the secondhand market is here in my area, and this caused some problems when looking for a box spring on a deadline, because the bed frame that I'd thrifted needed a box spring, but I was leaving in a few days and I needed the bedroom to be done so that I could film all the reveal shots for the video. So there was a significant time constraint. Well, when I didn't find one, I decided to take matters into my own hands and draw some inspiration from IKEA by just making some bed slats. So I went to the lumber yard and picked up some 1x10s because that seemed like the best balance between price and coverage.
Unfortunately, while they fit just fine, they felt a bit bouncy, a little bit too unstable for my taste. There would definitely be no monkeys jumping on this bed. So I thought for a second maybe doubling up would do, and that did seem to help somewhat.
Unsure how exactly I wanted to tackle this situation, I decided to switch gears and go work outside on the dressers. The drawers had been sitting out in the sun for quite some time now, and I wanted to see if the baking soda had worked its magic and eliminated some of that mustiness.
And it wasn't just the drawers that needed a good cleaning. Unlike the first piece, this entire dresser needed a solid scrubbing. It was also a bit musty and had signs of mildew, so a good scrub down was in order, again with the trusty old vinegar in a spray bottle and plenty of elbow grease. Well, I don't know whether to call it very good luck or very poor timing, but less than 24 hours after having caved and purchased all that lumber and cut it down and installed it upstairs, what becomes available for a very affordable price on Marketplace but a queen-sized box spring. So I obviously went out and got it and brought it home, and now the fun part is going to be getting it upstairs and installed by myself. Let's go.
Okay friends, we're gonna shake things up around here a little bit for next week's episode, where we'll be going back to Montreal because of my stinking landlord. I've made my viewpoint on large developers somewhat clear in the videos, and I've certainly expanded on those thoughts in the comments with some of you, but generally speaking, it's not a very high opinion. And our current landlord, because we have kept our apartment in Montreal, is no exception. He's basically the poster child for money grubbing, penny pinching fucking scum landlords, and we've tolerated it for literally a decade at this point because we absolutely adore our apartment. But now his negligence and miserliness is affecting Cannell's safety and quality of life when she's at the apartment, and that's where I draw the line. So tune in next week to see what the problem is, how I'm gonna solve it, and of course for some apartment-friendly renovation, springtime makeovers, corgi content, and creative problem solving. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week in Montreal.